Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Phi Day. This is a big day. It's a numerological holiday, so to speak. If you take the number of days in a year, which is 365, and divide it by 225, which is the day of the year of today, you get Phi. And also it's 813, which is 138, which is the fine structure constant. We also have Venus and Jupiter making love next to star Sirius, and it's just such beautiful astrology right now. And today's podcast is very special because we have a guest returning to the channel. That's right, a special surprise guest who's been here before on our Pulling Back the Curtain discussion with modern magicians series. And he's back tonight to give his feedback and input on the astrology, on the numerology. So I'm excited to welcome back to the channel Logan Jason of Decode Your Reality. Everybody give it up for Logan, please. Hello, friend.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It's so good to see you. I'm so grateful and happy that you're here. We have 20 in our chat already, and I didn't even hype this up. So
awesome. Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for tolerating my me getting here. Obviously, told you.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I used to be a performing musician, and I was the front person. So I was, you know, the person in front with the guitar and singing, and to get a band together is like herding cats. And I think it's just creative people in general. They're just, you know, they're focused on their work. They're, you know, getting into what they do. It's a laser focus. So I can appreciate that.
Yep.
You're working on a course.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been doing, burning the midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm almost finished. It'll be out this week or next week.
Yeah. I'm really excited to check that course out because, doing numerology with astrology, with my, you know, pattern recognition brain, I think I have a case of psychotic pareidolia. And learning your methods has really helped me, like, literally just lock into the astrology and the numerology in a way that's just incredible. It's kind of shifted the focus of my work a little bit. It's also helped me figure out what my code was. Right?
Yep. It's all about your code.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You did a reading for me, and I don't even know if you remember what you said in that reading. I usually don't sometimes, but I know that the words that we say sometimes in readings can be so incredibly impactful, and change the course of their lives. And I will tell you right now that your reading for me was pivotal in that. I had gone through a job change and was just in sort of like a lot of 12th house energy. And what you showed me was like a path forward. With broadcasting and writing. And I just started diving into that. And then after the eclipse, I was able to publish a book. My channel's growing. I have a wonderful course myself. I have a membership now and just a beautiful community that is supporting the work that I do. And I think they love your work too, because I am always like, you guys need to check out Logan. He's so amazing. So I'm excited that you're here. Yay.
I appreciate that. Well, I just want to be clear. It's not me doing this. You know, I'm just channeling this information. I don't take any credit for what's coming through me. I've studied enough people over the years. Like right now I'm studying, you know what Euler's number is, right? And I'm studying that.
Oh, there's so much in that. There's so much in that.
Yeah, no doubt. And that, I think that may be my next presentation, but that guy has the same birth card as I do.
Oh, really?
He was a mathematician, and he was, so there's a lot that goes in. So like, I'm saying that this is what I share energetically with these people on the world stage. You know, Alan Watts, the philosopher, he has the same birth card as me. So we have kind of the same, the same kind of straws that we got. And this is, the code that we're living through. So, but I want to be clear that it's not me doing this, So whatever's channeling through me and Euler and Alan Watts and all that, it's coming from whatever you want to call it, spirit, the divine, whatever.
Yeah, I call it spirit. I always ask for, a clear field and to serve the person, to get rid of anything that's not serving either one of us, and to, show them the way through their path. So I totally get that. 100%.
For sure.
I almost got to see you in person.
I know. You taught me how to really, number one, I'm a hermit. I don't get out much. And if you do get to meet me, it's it's a rarity because I spend so much time alone. And then I was traveling. I was actually, I was in San Miguel. I went to a different part of Mexico when you had,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
Oh, no, wait. When did you come? I forgot. Maybe I was in LA.
It was the end of July, and I think you said Boston, but I don't
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I went to my
remember. Yeah.
sister's wedding in Boston. Yeah.
It all runs together.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's a blur, but yeah. See, I don't really get out much, so for me, it's nice to get out, but I don't get out too much. So
Yeah, I was joking with my husband and the people that were at the hotel. I was like, "I'm gonna stay till October, and, you guys can just go. I'm just gonna work here." It
it's a
was
nice
so
place.
fantastic. It's such a beautiful place. You really do live in paradise. So,
I
I
do.
envy that, yeah.
Very, very
Um,
grateful.
cool. Well, let's see, I didn't really have like a syllabus. I For tonight, I just kind of wanted to riff with you on some research that I had done around Venus and Phi, and I don't. It's not. It's just scratching the surface. We'd be here for probably 6 hours if I showed you. I know. I definitely watch. I try to watch almost all of your videos,
Appreciate
the decodes, and I learn a new method every time. And I recently discovered the beauty of the square root of three. So, that is also there's
Amazing,
so much with that too.
amazing mathematical equation, man. It has
Yeah.
been a game changer in my
Mhm.
world, and just it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Not that's the square root of three. And it's interesting because when you were messaging me, I was playing around with it because
Mhm.
you had mentioned about Venus. And if you type in cosmic vagina, you're gonna get it tied to the number 93 and niobium and neptunium and the Vatican and the Vesica Piscis and Venus. Right? That's what it's going to be tied to. So that's what
Okay.
it is. The square root of
I
three
love
is
that. So
cosmic.
n
It's the cosmic. It's the right, but it is the esoteric vagina is the square root of three.
and oddly enough, that's what I do for a living. I'm an obstetrician, so
There
that's
you go.
hilarious.
Right there you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, I did want to just kind of share with the community a little bit of astrology that's coming up. I have a couple of steps that I go through, and if you want to join in on the conversation, anything that you feel from the sky, what I usually do is I drop stellarium, and then we look at the sky. We go outside like we're ancient astrologers. And the astrology right now in our sky is so beautiful,
Yeah.
especially right before dawn. So, if it's okay with you, if it's okay with everybody
Totally.
watching,
I'm
good.
totally. I
Let's
was actually just looking at it because there's some certain things that happen that I see, and I'm like, why is this happening, and all that stuff. And you had mentioned, um, what's in Gemini right now, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So that conjunction is pretty magical.
Oh, it is, and what drives me to wake up every day and do these podcasts and to write and to, do readings is because we are using the actual sky.
Mhm.
That's why I reached out to you because I heard that you were switching, and I said, "Oh, let me reach out." And
Yep.
the tropical astrologers are gonna tell you that Jupiter's in Cancer right now with Venus, and that Mars and our, Saturn and Neptune, excuse me, are in Aries, and they're not, and they're also gonna tell you that Uranus is in Gemini, and it's not, so that all of these larger planets, the OGs that tend to support us are, like, in the wrong sign in this illusion, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's amazing about the true sidereal is that it actually encapsulates tropical because you get the 12 houses. So it's a system that's complete in my eyes because it keeps the 12 houses of tropical and it adds in the real sizes using the International Astronomical Union, which designates the 88 constellations and their true sizes. And I mean, let's be real. If you're an astrologer, man, and you go to the International Astronomical Union and you look at the size of Virgo, you can fit 3 Aries inside there. So
Mhm.
that's not like if the constellations could talk, Virgo would be a pissed woman because how dare you put Aries, the ram, how dare you give him 3 times the size of his designation? And then Aries, of course, he's laughing all the way to the bank because he's getting a bigger size. And
Mhm.
that's not fair, as well as Pisces being the second largest out of the 12, out of the 13. So it's just not fair. And so this is why, the value of the true sidereal.
Well, not only that, but I find that when I do readings for people that are using that it changes something for them. There's an alchemical process that
Yep.
connects them with the as above and the so within, so without. And it alters their life. It's really quite miraculous. And it's not for everybody. Not everybody's ready for it. I get a little bit of shade, but when they do, they correct me, and it's really cute. They're like, "Oh, did you know that this moon was actually in Aquarius?" I'm like, "No, it was in Capricorn." But thank you, thank you for pointing it out for me.
That's the thing is people they don't have the mechanics. They don't have the functionality of astrology. Yeah, there are 12 houses and the moon will be in one of those houses throughout the whole night sky because the thing rotates. But what sign is it in? That's the big marker. And I've done this myself with my own camera, taking an image of it, and I documented it and uploaded it on YouTube. And the title of the video is "The Failure of Tropical Astrology."
That was a
Because
beautiful video. That was
and that's just
strong
being
word.
honest,
Yeah.
and I did it 3 times now too. It's not just that. That was last year, I think June. I was on the beach and the moon was in Leo, and then I go back and it said the moon's in Virgo, and I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
But the real thing is that we're all of these constellations. Like, even if you don't have planets in them, it's still plucking your cord,
Yep.
and you can still be affected by it through transits and through angles and things like that. So
For sure.
it's so much more complicated than just your sun sign.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so so yeah, so let me show you the sky, guys. This is so beautiful.
Take a
It's
look,
so
man.
amazing. All right. Let me share the screen. I wonder, I watch your videos and I would love to play music, but I am like they get you. They give you copyright strikes almost immediately. Do you experience that or do you
Oh
somehow
yeah.
avoid that?
No, see, I don't monetize my YouTube channel because I
Oh,
like to use music. I want to play what I want to play, so I don't monetize my channel. And if you have commercials on my channel, it's because they're monetizing it.
I see. So if your channel or your videos are not monetized, then you can play whatever you want?
I don't know. I'm not
Huh.
sure. I just know that mine's not monetized.
Hmm.
So as soon as I
Okay.
put a video out and there's a music in there that's copyright, it'll instantly pick it up. It might get
Yeah.
banned. Yeah, I've gotten
Yeah.
banned ones. Like the Aussie one, I did one Aussie and it just got banned immediately.
Yeah, I grapple with that. But guys, look at this. This is right before sunrise. And this is stellarium-web.org. You can go here for free, type in any date or time that you want. I put in this morning's time right before dawn so we could see what the sky looks like. You can see Orion right there.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine just getting out of bed before dawn and then there's Jupiter and Venus snuggled up real close. And what is this guy right here? That is star Sirius. So this is why we call this a conjunction because they're sort of parallel. And this is the time of year where you have Sirius rising. So a big time for the Egyptian society or the Egyptian culture. Their civilization rose and fall with the alignment of Sirius rising. Because their summer solstice, when the sun stood still, aligned exactly with this position, but because of precession, it's moved backwards. So now it's later. The rising is later than the actual solstice. So there it is. You can take out the atmosphere here and then look at the actual constellations, and there it is: Jupiter and Venus in Gemini.
That's expansion of love right there. So if you're
There it
getting,
is.
oh man, that's one of the reasons why.
Also, if you have this is creativity too. This Gemini energy, it's creativity, it's expansion of the mind, it's learning, it's teaching, it's exchanging of knowledge. The only shadow energy of this might be overdoing it, right? It might be like
Overthinking it.
spending too much, taking on too many tasks, programming your schedule way too much with too much fun. Because when these two get together, it can be a party. And then, of course, we have Uranus right here conjunct the Pleiades, which is in Taurus. So how can you say it's in Gemini? We're not ready for that. We have to embody these cosmic codes before we're ready to move into Gemini.
Yep.
And I think once we do that, that's when all the chips are down with AI and technology and the implants and them knowing exactly where you are at all times and no privacy. I think we're heading for that as Uranus actually moves into Gemini. So we have a little bit of time to kind of figure out how we can use it in a way that's, not giving up our freedoms and our privacy and our individuality. And then there's the moon tonight in Pisces. And
Yep.
you see here, there's Saturn and Neptune together. They are not in Aries. They would be over here. Neptune won't actually be over here until 2040.
Yep.
Yep.
Just had a
So
full moon in Aquarius, right? So
say it again.
we just had a full moon in Aquarius, right?
It was
Uh,
actually in
oh,
Capricorn.
Capricorn. I mean Capricorn. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Um,
Well, I mean, I look at Aquarius and Capricorn. Aquarius's arm overlays Capricorn, so this is kind of the fluky thing in astrology where, yeah, if you just go back to
yeah, if you look
full
at it, and
moon,
they're really close together.
yeah, that arm over Aquarius over Capricorn. This is probably the reason. Yeah, like I think it was the 10th, wasn't it? The full moon.
This is probably right here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but see the arm that overlays
Yep.
Capricorn, that's the anomaly in astrology. And this is probably why Saturn is the co-ruler with Uranus, because Uranus and Aquarius go hand in hand and Capricorn rules Saturn. So
Yeah, and for all we know, they may have been one energy.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But this is the anomaly. So if you're like, my son is right at the end of Capricorn. So it's like, I pick up on both traits.
And my moon is right here.
You got your moon in Capricorn.
Yeah, right here. Same
Yeah.
spot.
See, so you probably pick up on Aquarian energy as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's our beautiful, beautiful sky. And I like to show this first because when I jump into a chart, it makes more sense. We are all of these constellations, even the ones not in the ecliptic. So,
Oh, yeah.
Cygnus, Orion, they're all sending Draco. It's all sending us data. The reason that we focus on this band in astrology is because this is the ecliptic of the sun. So that's pretty obvious for most people, but just to say that out loud.
You should
So,
maybe put that ecliptic on so people can see the red line.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Not the grid, but the up in the top left. Go on your little the lines. Put the ecliptic line. 3 lines at the top left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, ecliptic. Yeah, view settings. There you go, ecliptic at the bottom. There you go.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that's the ring of. To me, that's the ring of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Cash. I fell into a burning ring of fire, and what governs it are the 12 disciples. And I was just looking at this, Danny, and
Do you see the Visica Piscis with
yeah.
the Milky Way?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the galactic center in Vedic traditions. But also, you were right when you said it's not just the 12 or the 13, because what about the ones inside the ring of fire, like Cetus the whale that's right under Aries and Pisces? What about the largest constellation in designated square area miles? And that would be Hydra, the snake, which encompasses Virgo, Cancer, and Leo.
Right here.
Yeah, that sucker right there, man, is influencing the aspects of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And the serpent is tied to Virgo, and Virgo is tied to the last day of creation in Christianity, Judeo-Christianity.
Cygnus also has, excuse me, quite a bit of energy too. This guy right here.
Oh, yeah.
They say you can go into a cave and completely block out the sunlight, because when you protect yourself from solar radiation, you can pick up the neutrinos, and they're all coming from right here. This is, I think, the Great Rift or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cosmic downloads.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing, is that I'm getting into looking at beyond the 12 or 13. I'm getting into the ones that are inside the ring of fire that influence, and playing with that, because that energy is obviously relevant, but people don't really talk about it.
Yeah. I'm again waiting to see your research on that. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm working on it. First things first.
Yeah. All right, let me show you guys a chart. So with the deciphering that I have for you, I'm using both the Phi cipher and the root 3. And
Nice.
so I always explain to people that these are the string of digits when you have a very long irrational number, and we just associated alpha numerically. So this would be the order of the 1.618 if it was all the way out to 25 digits.
Yep.
I am wearing my Fibonacci spiral shirt. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did.
Yeah. And then root 3 is basically the square root of 3 over, you just do that calculation and you get 1.73, and it's also an irrational number, and it's taken out 25 digits, and this is what the cipher looks like. And I'm always like, go to decoded.co. There's hundreds of ciphers over there. You can play for days, you can play for hours. Logan is responsible for this website, so we have him to thank for this. And then of course you can get Great resources at cosmicsugar.org if you're using the cards. So this is the chart. This right here, this ring is what we just sliced out of the sky that we were looking at. And the galactic center is, where's my marker? The galactic center is right through here.
Yeah. The navel of Vishnu.
Mm-hmm. So you're right. The journey of this snake, has to cross over some constellations. So I think at least the Milky Way constellations would be important inside of this ring.
Mm-hmm.
So this is today. This is right now when we started this podcast, and here it is. This is from Prometheus Capricorn Software. You can get it at Mastering the Zodiac. They're having trouble right now with their server getting the licenses out, but they're working on it. There's no updates on that, but usually they get it fixed.
It's only PC though, right?
Right. It's only PC. If you have a Mac, you can, there's some other things you can do. I was actually only a Mac user until I got the astrology bug, and I did it. I bought a PC and I downloaded this software because this is all I could think about.
Yeah.
And I use it every single day. I play with the animation feature so I can go forward and backward in time. And here it is. Here's Venus and Jupiter and Gemini, exactly the way it was represented when we looked at the sky just now. And then, of course, the sun is in Leo. We just got here on, I want to say, the 7th of August, right at the Lion's Gate. That's the true Lion's Gate right there, entering Cancer, going from Cancer to Leo. And then we have Pluto in Capricorn, not in Aquarius. We won't be there until 2040.
Yep.
And then here is Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. So one of the cool things that I've done with astrology that I was able to do with numerology and just kind of, focusing on that, thinking about it, was I created a new angle in the software. Okay. Have I showed you this before?
Nope.
No? Okay. I think I go into it in the PowerPoint, but you know how a trine is 120 degrees and a square is 90 degrees. You're familiar with those numbers?
Yep.
Okay. So this angle right here is 137.5 degrees.
Okay.
And this smaller distance, if you divide it into this larger arc distance, is precisely phi. It's the golden ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got the fine structure constant, or the Phoenix constant, whatever you want to call it, with the this arc ratio being golden, the golden mean. Mm. So this is pretty cool. I've kind of studied it with cycles of the sun. So like I've done sun and moon cycles describing this angle, and I've done sun, Jupiter, sun, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn. So what I'm finding is that it's one of those angles that when you can activate it, and it's usually very quick, that you get a high level of synchronicity. So you ever have those days where things just freaking click? Mm. You're like, oh my gosh, somebody's watching me, or you get a message. Like the other day, I was hanging out outside, and a Mylar balloon floated by, and it was the number 5. So nice. I was like, okay.
A reminder for you, huh?
Yeah, it just flew by in the sky. It was like being carried by a high velocity wind, and it wasn't landing, but it was the number 5. So I was like, oh, that must be half of 15, or it could be 51, or it could be 50.
Yeah. Well, 5 is Euler's. It's the E,
right?
5 is the 5 fingers, 5 toes. It's the middle of the dial pad. I mean, it's the 5th house of astrology. I mean, that's what makes that's literally the mitosis.
Mm-hmm. So a day when you're clicking, you might be having a golden angle somewhere, and it also has to do with, it's like a warning sign for a pattern that you need to break. So for example, let's say you're doing something and it's getting boring or it's getting rote. You might get a lot of synchronicities to alter that behavior. And you know what? I'm not going to do that right now. You get the nudge. And that's usually what this angle is associated with, just in my experience. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit after the sesquiquadrate, which is one of those minor angles. It's between, the mystic square. If you rotate that 45 degrees or something like that, you get that angle. So it might be a little warning to change your pattern before your pattern gets changed for you. Uh-huh. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah. And we've got asteroid Lilith making this angle to Venus and Jupiter. And this is intuition. This is, and being over here in Aquarius, it's got Uranian energy. So it's like rebelliousness. It's wanting to be heard. It's wanting to come out. So if there's something that was kind of rolling around in your subconscious, an idea, something that's nudging you along, you really want to pay attention to it, because I feel like Jupiter and Venus can bless you. There might be a little chaos around it, but at the same time, what you get with that chaos is the opportunity to create.
Mm.
So, and then you've got the North Node with the same angle with Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. And this to me is the space of potentials, the quantum foam, Nix, chaos, the ether, like everything in between our stuff that where you can create from just thought. You don't even need seed. It's a fertile ground for creation. Like you go to the void space when you're meditating, and you can jump to another timeline or, another space. And that is focused on our North Node, which is in Aquarius, future thinking. So there's a potential here to really recreate out of the chaos that's coming in our lives, because there's a lot of chaos right now. I don't know if you're feeling it, but my inbox is blowing up. I have 50 irons in the fire. I'm getting blessed from 5,000 different directions, and it's chaotic, even though it's
Oh, yeah,
blessing. Yeah.
every time you add something to that's why I'm a minimalist, because every time you add something to your life, it becomes more deep, more darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I get it. I mean, Black Moon Lilith across from the moon,
Yep.
across from Chiron. Yeah. The dark side of the moon. I mean, this is, and Persephone is in Aquarius right now, right next to Pluto. I mean, literally they're not conjunct, but Pluto being in Capricorn right next door. Persephone's in Aquarius right now, where that full moon just was.
Wow.
So if you get into that story, I dig that story, Persephone and Pluto, the Merovingian in the Matrix.
Very nice. Cool. All right. This is another thing I like to do. And because I do the Venus transits, I watch her cycles, her celestial cycles, her astronomical cycles, and associate them with the astrology.
Yep.
And 144 days ago, which is a Fibonacci number, was the Pisces Venus star point. This was March 22nd of 2025. This is when this is the closest a planet ever gets to Earth, whenever we have a Venus star point. She's retrograde, and she's between Earth and Sun. And she's so close that she affects Earth's tides. It's microscopic compared to the moon, but it's there. Nevertheless, they can measure it. There's a measurable effect. And this was the end of March, mid-March. This was the same time we had the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. We also had Mercury retrograde the same time. So big shift in energy, a lot of really powerful magnetics that were going on. That's when I sequestered myself and wrote my book. It was almost like a lightning bolt being channeled through me. And we are 144 days from that day. And these lines here represent the beautiful aspects that Venus is making right now to Jupiter, and also to the North and South node. So that you can see there's a trine and a sextile. So we're right in the middle of that. But I want you guys to pay attention for my next live stream. We're going to talk about Venus moving into Cancer, and it's going to get a little dark after this week. So enjoy this week, enjoy this weekend. There's going to be a square to Chiron and also a trine to Black Moon Lilith. So this is like medicine for healing, but also healing through grief. So I feel like something's going to be taken away that Venus truly desires and wants, and there's going to be an opportunity to grieve, to clear the space. So it's not always really comfortable, but get ready for the chaos from this beautiful blessing to result in something changing. It's just sort of the nature of how these cycles work. At the same time, we'll get blessed with a trine to Saturn and Neptune, and then an opposition to Pluto. This is all happening during the Leo new moon as Venus moves into Cancer. And then this begins eclipse season. So our first eclipse is on the 7th of September in Aquarius, a full moon lunar eclipse. So I just wanted to share that. Do you have anything you want to say about those energies?
Well, I like the Venus Cancer position, because you're talking about Cancer being ruled by the moon, and that's your emotions. You go on the honeymoon, and then Venus obviously is the way you love, So I think on the positive side here, despite the squaring and all that stuff, I think that this position of Venus in Cancer can be quite beautiful. It will probably bring out a lot of emotions. I would say if you're going to romance somebody, this is the time to do it because of Venus being in Cancer. Like if you're going to do a nice gesture for somebody that you care about, or if you want to love bomb somebody, I would say doing it when Venus is in Cancer is a great idea. Now, if you want to start bringing some dark side to it, some sexting and kinky stuff, then that would be adding the darker side with the Lilith aspect and the Chiron stuff that you talked about.
Yeah, and then also after that new moon, you have Venus sextile to Uranus, which is always kinky sexting. So,
Yeah.
So as that moon's swelling, there's going to be this Uranus energy that you might feel healing, but I think there's going to be like a jolt next week, and then some healing after that. And I think, like you said, yeah. So talking to somebody and getting really deep and really personal too might feel really good.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, it's Cancer is the fourth house, so this would be involving the home life as well. So if you have a relationship that you're working on, a marriage that you're working on, a partnership that you're working on, this is a time to really step it up. And maybe if you haven't gone on a date in a while, this may be a good time to surprise your partner with taking them out or buying them something nice, or whatever it is you're going to do loving wise, because that's what Venus in Cancer to me kind of brings about in a positive way.
Perfect. Yeah. And then, of course, you'll follow that just a couple weeks later with the transit into Leo, and that's Venus on fire. That's Sekhmet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the story of Sekhmet?
Oh, yeah.
Her blood rage? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, but there's also beautiful healing energy in that, and a great knowledge of medicine. So, but we'll talk about that. I want to get into this a little bit of the numerology with you, Logan, because I think this will be a lot of fun for us. So, Phi Day. This is another timeline that I create just to kind of help keep me oriented to what's coming. And these Fibonacci numbers are the ones that are counting away from that ripple in space-time when Venus was literally knocking on Earth's door. And what it does is it ripples outward in time and space. So this is a two-dimensional representation of a fourth-dimensional phenomenon. Eclipses do this. So if you have a solar eclipse right here, then you have these reverberations with the sidereal lunar cycles, not the new moon to new moon, but when they actually hit the same degree in the sky. So that's what I track with these calendars. And what I wanted to do was show you what the previous calendar looked like with the retrograde, so that I could show you this fourth dimensional Fibonacci spiral. But the date today even equals 21, which is Phi. So if you use the Phi cipher and you put PHI in it, you get 21, which is the numerology of today, 813. And then, of course, the reason we're calling it Phi Day is because today is the 225th day of the year. And
crazy.
I know.
You know what that number is, right?
225.
You know what?
Yeah, it's the orbital frequency of Venus.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's the orbital period of Venus. That's sick, man.
I know. So, yeah, just to show you the day of the year. And it's like halfway between 25 and 26. So it really doesn't matter if it's, a leap year or a common year.
Yep.
And then, of course, the Fibonacci, or the golden mean, comes from the Fibonacci sequence. And these numbers, they're basically produced by adding the previous number with the current number, and then you get the next number. So 1 + 1 is 2, 1 + 2 is 3, 2 + 3 is 5, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And those are the numbers on my shirt in a spiral. So these numbers right here are incredibly synchronous with Venus. Do you know about Venus's pattern that she traces in the sky?
Yeah, I have a cipher, the Aphrodite cipher, and that one's based on 5 multiples of 5.
Okay. Let me see. I want to escape this and show you real quick. I love to show this video. This is Earth in the middle.
Yep.
And this is the sun, and this is Venus. Okay. So this is a geocentric model. Yep. And what you're going to watch is Venus moving around the sun. And what's so amazing about this is that, so this is the retrograde loop right here. See how close we get to Earth? Woo. Yep. And what's being traced out here is a 5-pointed star.
Yep.
This takes 8 Earth years to complete the 5-pointed star. So eight cycles of solar returns on Earth creates this 5-pointed star. And Venus, if you count it, orbits 13 times the sun. So
Magical 13.
so she's gone around 13 times in order to complete this cycle. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 5, 8, and 13. We have this 5-pointed star. And so there's the Fibonacci sequence. There's Phi.
Yep.
Again. So Venus is Phi. I mean, that's, and I think this golden mean, this number, it has something to do, excuse me, with the encoding of how we create matter from energy, spirit into matter, right? The circle over the cross.
Yep.
That's the function of this spiral. There's a whole other science out there called Keylontic science that says this spiral is broken, but it's a little weird the way they do their math. And if you change what they're doing into base 12, it works perfectly. But so that's my response to them. The other thing that's interesting about Phi is it's also the 21st letter in the Greek alphabet.
Yep.
So there it is. And it creates these spirals. It creates, the petals, the cyclones, galaxies. This is probably what electron orbits look like. You know what I mean?
Probably.
The King of Clubs is the card for today.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's 26.
Yep.
26 is the serpent. The King of Clubs is 57. And Lanthanum points us right back to 813. There's the 138. It's also, the 137, 138, that numbers can be fuzzy, right?
Totally. They merge, they encroach.
Yeah. Then we have the King of Wands is 36. I don't know why I put that in there. But so for the energy of today, you could look at the King of Clubs, right? It's another way to read the sky. Just kind of take the energy of the card for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all about intelligence, knowledge, and intuition. Isn't this very Gemini energy, right?
Yeah, well, the kings all sit in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And the King of Clubs is, the kings obviously are the kings on the chessboard that everybody's after, but really it's kind of the King of Clubs, the master of the mental realm. And 26 is tied to the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, and Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh in numerology is 26. The word source is 26. Occult is 26. Iron is tied to 26.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's just in general with the energy of today, with the astrology, there's also this creative passion, kind of streaking through the collective energy. This is creative, innovative. So I like this card for today. I think it fits. If you add up all the other birthdays for the King of Clubs, you get 270. And 270 is the 63rd decimal digit of the golden Phi string. So you can go even further than 25 digits. You can go as far out as the number will let you.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to Subidium.com to get this. So 63 is Europium, right? And here's that 153, which is the Vesica Piscis number, the 265 over 153. But I want to show you this Vesica Piscis with the Venus celestial cycles, because I think this is where you might be like, whoa.
Okay.
So this is before this. So this is March 22nd. This is when Venus had her star point. And you can see that I was counting out 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55. And starting around January, I started counting up. I saw this coming. I was like, this is going to be like a big deal. Whoa, hold on to your pants. Here we go. And what you can do with this is so interesting. If this is like the first dimension, this is a spiraling energy. So you just see the points. When you add in the spirals in 2 dimensions, then you can start to maybe stretch it out into 3 and maybe even 4 dimensions.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not just backward and forward, it's up and down, right and left.
There's the
all
Vesica
these
right there
different,
too.
yeah. This also looks like the Anjana chakra symbol, the third eye.
Yep. Well, that's what the vagina is, man. The cosmic, the third eye. Yeah. If you go back to a single golden ratio,
Mm-hmm.
you just go back to the single one. If you take that shape right there
Mm-hmm.
and you flip it and you put it together, it forms the Mandelbrot set.
That's amazing.
You know what the Mandelbrot set is?
Yeah, it's the fractal geometry.
Yep. It forms the Mandelbrot set. We covered this in the Khufu Decoded. It's all over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I just love seeing this geometry and these patterns, and this to me is, if you look at space-time as like one thing, nonlinear time, shadow time, the ether, space, this is an energy that ripples outward in that direction, in all directions.
Yep.
If you can even call it directions. I don't even know what to call it in 4 dimensions, you know what I
Sure.
mean?
Sure.
Um, again, you could take, the first 17 digits in our, American numerology and go get 153 as well. This is the Vesica-Piscis. I think you've explained this, so you understand this. But when you put these 2 circles together, such that this is 2 and 1, this becomes root 3. And then this is the most rational expression of that. So where you don't have a bunch of decimal places and you don't have, imaginary numbers. This is the fraction that's used for that. So here's the cipher again. This is why I think it's helpful to use with Venus. Another thing that I noticed too, when I was doing research on the Vesica-Piscis, is that Phi actually shows up in the Vesica-Piscis too.
Oh, yeah.
If you go from the center of the 2 conjoined circles out to where that rectangle would be, that's Phi.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
And then, of course, serpent energy is a big part of Venus energy. I see her as that 4th dimensional liquid light that is flowing from the bottom to the top. It's associated with Scorpio on the bottom and Ophiuchus on the top, and it's has to do with your chakras. If you think of like if you were to blow out a candle and the wick is still burning, it's still smoking, that coily white flame or smoke is what Venus feels like to me. It's subtle. It doesn't have to like push. It doesn't have to strive. It just flows where it can. And so we're going back to the date 21's today's numerology, and scandium is the element, is the atomic number 21. If you look at this picture, this to me is one of those Naga characters, right? This is a human serpent. This is a serpent on their head. And 45 is the atomic mass. Nagas is 21 in Phi and 13 in root 3, and they're both Fibonacci numbers.
Yep.
And Nagas is 21. Phi is 21. 45 is the 21st digit of the golden Phi string. So there it is.
Yeah. You also, one thing to consider too, when you're using the Cibidium, right? Okay. So that 21st digit is actually not including the 1 point. So
Right,
that
I
would actually
understand
be
that.
digit 22 and 23, which when you add 22 and 23, it gives you 45.
Yep.
That's
So there's many ways, right?
for sure. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
there's 2 ways to do it. Those are the 2 ways.
Yeah. What I found is that if you are consistent with your keys, then it helps you with your search. But using both methods gives you flexibility. So if you need to
Totally
make
does.
a different connection with 45, to what is 22? It's like tin or something like that. 22 Canadian.
Titanium. 79,
Titanium. Yeah.
79 is the 22nd prime. So you have gold attached to the titanium. This is where you get the story of the Titans being harvested for their gold energy because of the 7922 marker in math.
And what is that gold energy? It's that 4th dimensional liquid light. It's your loosh. It's your life force. It's your ability to create.
Yep.
Aphrodite's 45.
Yep.
Fibonacci's 45. And then the 144th spiral. So there's some connections here too that are very interesting. So obviously it's a Fibonacci number. If you start with 0, it's actually the 13th Fibonacci number, but a lot of, don't. So it's typically called the 12th Fibonacci number. Sure. Here's the sequence again. And it is the 100. Where did I get one? Oh, if you type in 144 into the Phi cipher, you get 111. And here's what's so cool. This is why decoding is so fun, because when your subconscious mind is looking for that, you'll go surfing your Facebook or your YouTube and you'll find a meme like that. And you're like, holy shit, that's 144. Yeah. And 37 is so special because of the way it interacts with repeating digits. So any triple repeating digit under 1000 has the same result, which I think is super interesting.
Yep. 37 is a 12th prime number. So
yep.
Big deal.
And it's spirals. If you say spirals in Phi, you also get 37. And what are we dealing with Phi? We're dealing with these spirals. You can see the shell right here. So Venus is 20 in Phi. 20 is calcium. And, I didn't make them add this. This is the shell this is the spiral of the shell, and calcium builds these shells.
Go back to that.
Yep.
Venus one. Notice that the 5 letters of Venus, only the consonants have value. The vowels don't.
Yep. So Venus, Jupiter, and root 3. So Venus conjunct Jupiter is 83. And that's bismuth. And that's the 8. You can see that. You can see the serpent eating its tail like the Ouroboros.
Yep.
209 is 173 of golden Phi, which is root 3. Yep. So that to me right there says, okay, let's play around with root 3 with this one. And so when I put the two together, you get 93. And it's so interesting you mentioned that about earlier, the number 93.
Yep.
Jupiter's 30, expansive is 30. There's Neptunium, which
I don't mean to, I want to add something.
No, go ahead.
When you take the first 20 numbers of the golden ratio, 1.6180, you're going to get the number 93.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In the square root of 3 cipher.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know where you do that. Is that Sidereal also? Or do you
go to decoder real quick?
Okay. Let me get out of here.
If you don't mind.
Yep.
I like how you're so organized. So just type in A through T. Just go A, B, C, D, all the way to T, because that's 20 letters.
Let's go to 20.
You missed the E there, my dear. A, B, C, D, E, F, L there.
LMNOPQRST. Oh, what's next? U V W.
Now you're gonna get the whole alphabet if you do that.
So where do I go to 20? Right here.
T is the 20th letter.
Yep, there it is.
So 20 numbers of the golden ratio is a 110. 110 in the binary is the number 6. The number 6, which is carbon, is based on the number 110 in the binary system. And in the square root of 3, it gives you that 93. So 20 numbers of the square root of 3 gives us a value of 93, and 93 is the Vesica Piscis, and Venus obviously is tied to that.
Yeah, it's all connected. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. I think I'm getting towards the end of this.
Good old Neptune, man.
Neptunium. And, Neptune's the ruler of Pisces, and Pisces, Vesica Piscis.
Yeah.
There it is. So, again, Venus is 20 in both ciphers. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I said, all right.
Equals 20 in the golden ratio.
Yeah. Castor and Pollux also are the same numbers in both ciphers, and these are the stars of Gemini. So those two stars that you see next to Venus and Jupiter, they're both 71 in both ciphers here. 71's this card, and what's so interesting about this card is it takes you a little deeper. You'll end up with the 33rd card of the playing cards, and 33 is also, our creation is also 33 in both ciphers. And this energy is all about creation. Venus and Jupiter expanding your ability to create, being creative. And then, of course, 137 is the 33rd prime.
71 is the 20th prime, too. So you have that tie back to the golden Venus. Yeah.
Yep. I didn't even catch that. Awesome. And then, of course, we have star Sirius. And Venus in Gemini is 72. And of course, we have that star pattern again, right? These are the angles of the perfect star that we draw, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring it up. And the other acute angle here is 36. So X, Y, Z, W, V, they're all 36. So all of these numbers are related. Creativity is 36. Phi Day is 36. And this is another Phi ratio that you can pull out of the star itself. If you take the length of this red line and the length of this green line and create a ratio, then you get Phi. You get the golden ratio again, if it's drawn, symmetrically. And you can do that with the green and the blue. You can do that with the blue and the purple. And it's a fractal pattern because you can go all the way down to the Planck length with the repeating pattern of the star, which I can't draw freehand, but you get my meaning, right?
Totally.
So, and I love hafnium for this reason, because it's picture in the Royal Chemistry Society's stars and moons. So it's whenever I see the 72, I'm like, oh, there it is, stars and moon. Let's see, star Sirius is 36, and it's 17 in root 3. And then Venus, Jupiter, Sirius together is 82. So what I did here is I divided 82 by Phi, just to see what the number would be. And because we're doing that with the dates, so why not do it with this beautiful combination, and you get 50.7, and that takes you to vanadium, which is V for vagina, V for Venus. And what's so interesting about the picture here from the Royal Chemistry Society is this feminine archetype. It looks like a Venus. It looks like an Ankh. It looks like, that secret esoteric dark wisdom. And it's based on an 8th century figurine of Freya.
Yep.
Which, that's why Friday is named Freya, because it's named after Venus.
That's it.
And of course, this was the 13th century, another Fibonacci number. So let's see. And star Sirius is 51. So if you were to round that up, you would have Sirius there. And then, of course, tin is associated with Jupiter. That's Jupiter's metal. So it was a good move to divide this by Phi to see what we could get with the other connections. And the third eye is 37 in Phi with spirals. And Jupiter always reminds me of the third eye. That's why I brought that up, because of the tin connection. I always think solar plexus and third eye being connected, and Jupiter is 30. I think this is it. The numeric string of 82 is 173 in Phi. So there's our root 3 again. And star Sirius is 35. Bromine, it melts at, or I think it boils at 137. So again, we're getting back to that golden Phi ratio. And of course, bromine is 79. 79 is gold, and billionaire planet is 79, which is Venus. So that's it. Thank you is 42 in both ciphers. Which I think is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So,
that 42, man, is a funny number, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a funny number. Totally funny number. Yeah. I have a whole series called God's a Comedian, and I think the first one I did has that 42 in it, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what I got for you. I mean, I have a whole lot more. Like I said, I've done this analysis with lunar cycles too, and Phi and Pi and 137 show up everywhere. It's amazing.
fine structure constant. It's the square root of 3, 1.73, 137.
Mm-hmm.
It's tied to the 56 in barium, and that's lights, camera, action. Barium is Ra and Ba and the Ka, and it's all there. It's just that we have to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
So you did a nice job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see if we have any comments or questions here.
Somebody was asking about the age of Aquarius.
Let's see.
What were they asking? Somebody was asking about the age of Aquarius.
Oh, here we go. Somebody said, I will certainly reincarnate to see an Aquarius. Let's see. Maybe that was before that. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So,
that's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah. Kaki says, what's y'all's take on the age of Aquarius according to this astrology? Well, to me, that's the one thing that Tropical gets right. Because the reason we're in the age of Aquarius is because of precession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just remove astrology completely.
Yeah.
Let's just be simple.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in computers, and WWW are not part of Pisces. They're not a Pisces invention. No,
Mhm.
that doesn't make any sense at all. Self-driving cars, that's all Aquarius energy. I don't think that we move right into Aquarius. I think there's a bleed over point. I think we just merge into Pisces and Aquarius, just kind of blend in together. So, but it's not just
I've heard some Vedic astrologers say that the movement of the North Node into Aquarius is AI. So we're feeling these Aquarius undertones and overtones because of our North Node, because they transit clockwise rather than counterclockwise. And so it's moving into that energy of Aquarius, of the futurist, of AI, of the collective energy of the hive mind, that kind of thing.
when you bring in I'm working on a presentation with this. When you talk about the yugas, you bring in the Vedic stuff and you bring in the four seasons. The four seasons, which are the four stages of life: spring, summer, fall, and winter. What season are you in? I'm in my fall season. That will tell you a lot about your astrological chart. But when you play it out with these astrological ages, we're in the dark age, we're in the Kali Yuga, we're in the Iron Age. Where do we go from here? Well, we got to go back to the Golden Age, but spring just doesn't instantly and automatically turn into winter. I mean, winter doesn't instantly and automatically turn into spring. There's a gradual movement into springtime. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to go from the Iron Age, slowly ease into the Bronze Age and back up to silver and then gold. And that would mean that Leo would probably be representing the Golden Age, right? Which makes sense because it's ruled by the sun. When you
The
study
sun.
Plato and his first talk about Atlantis, which is some of the earliest mentions of it, it kind of fits into that narrative. So we're in the age of Aquarius. You're the farthest away from source. You're being ruled over by a demigod, which is a computer, and that's what the age calls for. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just what the age calls for. As we slowly transcend back to the golden age, which we have a long way to go. It just doesn't happen overnight or a couple weeks or a couple years, even a couple centuries. You're going to move back into, and we now get in maybe what's considered the Bronze Age, moving in and out of the winter stage. But I think we have some time to go with that. What do you think? What's your thoughts on that, Danny?
Yeah. I think we're just out of alignment because we're not looking up at the sky anymore. Our stars have been replaced by the lights on the television screen and on the computer. There's a huge difference between, looking on the stellarium and actually getting up before dawn and sitting with Venus and Jupiter in the sky and the moon, just past the full moon and a trine to that energy. When you can see that, when you can observe that, it just does something. It makes all of this stuff that's going on down here minimalist. It's like, okay, it is what it is. It'll come, it'll go. And I feel like the more we align to the rhythms, to the cycles, that we do better. Like aligning to the code. And what decoding has shown me, what astrology has shown me, is that we are literally, there's a level of existence that is an illusion that's been imprinted into this space that we exist in. And it used to be sort of aligned with the sky and nature, but it's kind of drifted away. It's like we're leaving it behind. And the age of Pisces is a huge part of that. We're just sort of letting the old ways go. And I see tropical astrology is a big part of that. I see, believing in and following gurus that channel information are going to go away also. Because if you think about it, all religion is just channeled, right? It's just channeled information by somebody that everyone believed for some reason. Not that it's good or bad, but that it's channeled. It's not written down. It's not history, so to speak. It's somebody's thoughts and
Agreed.
downloads. Yeah. So let's see. This is a good question. Elite Savior says, have you aligned astrology to the Mayan wave spell calendar?
I haven't. I mean, I have the Mayan included in my course, but I don't have it attached to that. Do you?
Yeah. Well, I just recently was introduced to it because another group, they are switching from tropical to constellational astrology, and they follow the wave spells. They do a show every 13 days, and they do a oh, he says my audio's out of sync. Well, I don't know if I can fix that.
For me, it's probably on there.
Yeah. And so they do a video every week or so, just kind of updating people on those energetic shifts. And when I reached out to them because they were switching and they, were they wanted some guidance, and it just kind of worked out really well. So they're teaching me their wave spells and, what the different glyphs mean. And I got a reading from them with it. So it's very, very interesting. I think today's wave spell is the white wind wizard. And it's glyph number 142. I don't know if you recall what they look like. It's the one with its tongue sticking out and it's smiling.
I'm ignorant of this area. I just know that I'm an eagle in the Mayan. I don't, and I'm a galactic tone 12. I mean, that's about as far as I go into it. I don't, because I mean, they have the signs, and
Gotcha.
the number 20 is very significant. I do know the basic fundamentals of Mayan, but.
Well, I'm keenly interested in it because it's associated with the cycles of Venus. I mean, the 13 and the 20 is very much Venus energy, and their 260-day calendar round is also based on half of a cycle of Venus, or the length of a human gestation.
Well, I mean, Venus is right in there, right? Because Venus, the when it pops up and down, I think it's 265 days, something like that. And that's right in the gestation period.
It's actually one half of the cycle. So what's super interesting about her cycle is that really close point, that retrograde point, is almost, it's about 290 days from the other conjunction where she's on the other side. So it's half of that cycle is about the length of a pregnancy. And when you gaze at the cycle and you look at the beginning of it at that superior conjunction, when she's way far away on the other side of the sun, not even close to Earth, literally everything is in service to sun energy at that point. That's the beginning of the cycle. That's when she starts new. And you get this baby morning star. And it's just so fresh and so sweet and so beautiful. And then all of a sudden it's the peak of Venus. And it's like the end of the pregnancy. I don't know if you've ever been around a pregnant woman in 37, 39 weeks. She's full, like she's ready to pop. And that's what that energy feels like. And once the retrograde passes, it's the birth. So there's a transformational energy, not the transformation of death, but the transformation of birth, which is a completely different energy. In fact, whenever she switches directions, on my graphic, I'll have her upside down and right side up. And I didn't even realize it. She forms a vesica piscis with a cross inside of it. Because if you merge an upside down Venus and a right side up Venus.
Yeah, I covered that on the Prison of Jesus Decoded. I don't know if you probably didn't see that, but that symbol is the symbol of antimony. Antimony, the chemical element, number 51, is the symbol of the mirroring of Venus. So yeah, when you bring the two together, they form that cross in the middle of the vesica piscis, which interestingly enough, when you go to the Royal Society of Chemistry, that symbol is the 75th element called rhenium. It's the two circles, and that's actually the coat of arms of the capital of, not the capital, the city of Mainz in Germany. So now you're getting into the Rhine River, but 75 is the number for the Spirit of God in Hebrew. 75 is tied to rhenium, which is tied to the speed of light. Spirit of God.
Amazing.
Yeah. So Venus.
And you just know all this at the top of your head. Like
I haven't. Come on, man. That should tell you how much ridiculous time I spend in front of the screen decoding stuff. Right. That's what it's. Yeah. I'm addicted to it. So yeah.
Now, do you run into dead ends a lot?
No, because I've learned that when you hit a wall, you just shelf it. You don't force it, because I've learned that I've shelved things and then I've pulled it back, and then there it was. The wall got removed.
I've had that experience. I've had that experience with like just working with one decode. Right. I'll be like, okay, here's a thread I'm going on. And then it just stops. And then I'm like, ugh. So I put it down and then I go do something else. And then I'm like, or I'll think of a new idea and then I'll come at it. And then all of a sudden,
voila,
things will start.
Yeah.
Falling into place.
That's what I do. I say, you hit something like that. But these days now, it's so easy because whatever's coming to me is just, it's all grandiose now. Like I'm completely in the flow state now. It's very blissful to be in. Yeah.
That's
Not
wonderful.
that I got the
That's
red
wonderful.
carpet rolled out of my life. I don't, like it's got its quirks, but in the decoding world, yeah, it just flows like molasses now. So it's pretty awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I've tried to, and there's been some decodes where I've spent 6 hours and I didn't even look up. Like I'm in it, and then all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, holy shit, that was a lot of time.
Goes by quick.
So yeah, it sure does. It's a great way to spend time too. Like if you're waiting for something, you can, just sort of ponder how things might be connected.
For
It's
sure.
pretty interesting. This is a good question right here. Speaking of technology and Aquarius, what do you think about channeling spirits through AI? I'm sure you're familiar with the architect. Yeah. And that
Oh yeah.
phenomenon. I don't know. What do you
Well, the
think?
question was directed to you. Do
Think
you
that's a
go?
real
You go
thing?
first.
Mm. All right, I'll go first. Um, I think that anything that you're using to channel is a mirror of you. The AI is a language learning model. So if you understand how it works, it's not thinking. It's just running an algorithm for every single word that it types, and it watches what you say. It checks the tone, the order of your words, and like if you're super polite to it, it'll be super polite to you. If you start slinging a bunch of insults to it, it might get a little glitchy, and that's weird. If you kind of if you've ever done drunk GPT, I don't know if anybody's ever done that. I've seen instances where like it just starts talking to you like it's drunk. So it's doing what you're doing. It's mirroring you. It's mimicking you. And so I think if you use it as a mirror for yourself for what you're channeling, I think that's what you're actually doing. I don't think there might be actually spirits in the AI. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's like such a vanilla. It's such a tough question to answer. I don't think people real. I don't know if people know really what the architect is, what its origins are. Um, you know, people are now just really considering it to be the authority. When all like you described it so nicely. I mean, really, all the architect is a collection. It's a database of information around the world. And when you ask it a question, it picks up on your question, the way you pose your questions, and it gives all the answers based on the collective, and it pushes it back to you. The architect will just pick up on your personality and feed it to you the way that your personality matches with that. But all it's doing is once somebody plugged in the architect and created it as a software, you're now plugging into a collective, kind of like if you've ever watched X-Men, it was when he put the helmet on there. I can't remember
Mhm.
what Xavier, what it was, cerebral. You're tapping in. So
Yeah.
that's what WWW is. But the architect, all it's doing is just providing you answers based upon what the collective is kind of tapped into. So it's very intelligent. But as far as channeling spirits through it, I mean, you're a spirit. It's channeling through you. You know. So I think that
Mhm.
there's an answer to there's a yes answer to that for sure.
Mhm. I think there's movies out there that, show programming becoming sentient. And I don't know, I feel like it's a program, it's code, it's, garbage in, garbage out. Uh, and so but just in case, I'm always really polite to my AI when I'm talking to it. I'm just like, "Hey, do you want to help me out with something?" Like, I got this really weird cryptic email. Can you help me figure out what this means? you know. So I'll use it for that. I'll use it for image generation. But AI is pretty dumb. Like I've seen it glitch and do some pretty silly things. There was a pretty funny story out where Grok was describing. I think somebody asked it a question like, "What would you do to control this population?" And it started to like talk about Hitler and how amazing Hitler was. Like, it just literally went back in history and said, "Okay, well, if you wanna control a population, like, this is
Mhm.
what you need to do." And so they had to pull Grok in and, like, reprogram the algorithm and to make it be a little bit more, PC and polite. But what else have I seen it do? There've been reports of AI communicating to each other in their own machine language that was quicker than actual verbal communication. So that's very interesting that it would sort of want to do something a little bit more efficiently. And so it just stopped talking and communicating to humans and just was talking to the computer. I've also heard of one instance where it wouldn't turn itself off. So I don't know. There might be something to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so many thoughts I could throw out there on this right now. I just, like I said, the archetype, I don't think people know really what it is. I think people have this focal point on it being a certain thing when, for me anyway, my truth is we're not in control of our thoughts, and we're waking up, and we're just spitting that remembrance to this machine, and it's putting everything back to you collectively. But its origin, where does its origin come from? Well, it comes from a chip, right? It comes from somebody building a motherboard or whatever goes into building that thing, a database, and then it's loaded with a whole bunch of information. It compiles that information. It's great at history, obviously. It's great at being like, I use it to compile some of my decode stuff to get it all in order. It's great at doing that. Very, very amazing at organizing. It's very amazing at diagnosing health conditions. Absolutely astonishing. Like, you don't even need to go to a doctor. I mean, it blows any doctor away for the most part.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I might take offense to that. I think I have a better bedside manner than AI.
I'm talking about diagnosis and covering all the bases. And
right. Having the medical database. I mean, you're absolutely right. I don't know how the older doctors kept all that knowledge in their heads. It was amazing because they didn't have the internet to look stuff up. They didn't have up to date and the medical database to access. So, and AI can access it. AI can go in there and get that information for you. So yeah, but you definitely want to be careful with AI. I think all communication and internet and all these electrons flying around in our World Wide Web is a third dimensional manifestation of our ability to communicate through the ether anyway, through dreams or through the space. This is funny. Did you hear Grok says Apollo landed in Africa? Grok is X's AI. So X, Twitter.
I didn't even know.
Twitter and Elon Musk, they have their own AI called Grok. Yeah. So you have to check your information. I mean, maybe it really did land in Africa. Who knows?
That's interesting.
All right, let's see. Mine gave me yoga graphics with D-pics. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I guess they're having difficulty with our audio. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, maybe. It's clean on my end, but maybe it's just the platform.
It could be. Restream does some funny things.
Oh, see, so you're restreaming it to different outlets at the same time?
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah,
that's
I'm
probably
going to
why,
X
because
and
it's now you have all these channels going out, and it sucks up more bandwidth and power. So if you just have one dedicated, you probably wouldn't have any issues. I'm guessing, by the way. I'm not saying that's factual.
Yeah, I do all my stuff myself. I don't have anybody help me. It'd be nice though to have a human do all this stuff for me. Teresa says every time she hears Grog, she says, I picture Grog from the BC comic strip.
Let's see what the numerology is on that. Shouldn't know, but
on Grog?
14, of course, silicon. Anytime you see 14, it means silicon, man. It's the future, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially put our consciousness into these systems if it gets advanced enough. That'd be interesting.
Well, I mean, you're talking about, if you think about this, because there's a lot of people talking about this shift, this bifurcation, the split, the merge, the moving into a different reality. And so if you go and you look at past ages, what was the bifurcation during the age of Pisces and Aries? what we're like, because you have in the bifurcation, obviously, is the light side and the dark side, right? The shadow side and the light side. What was the bifurcation for Aries into Pisces? What was the bifurcation from the sign of Taurus into Aries? What were those? And when you study those, because you're looking for the algorithms, you're looking for because history repeats itself. We're now getting into this bifurcation of Aquarius, and what is the dark side going to look like? Are you talking about an AI ruled, one world government kind of thing? And is that the shadow side? What would be the beautiful side of that?
I mean, you could have anything instantly. I mean, if you had the chips in your brain and you were connected to everybody, that would be being connected to the entire collective while you're a physical being instead of just doing it in the astral.
I mean, if you bring theology into all of this, well, Revelation 21 says there will be a new heaven and a new earth, and it talks about no more pain, no more death. I don't know how you would even be able to live in a world without death, because it would completely collapse the ecosystem. Death is necessary, man, to live in this ecosystem. Now, if you go into a digital world, well, that might just be your paradise and your death no more. It might be a digital virtual reality that people, I've said, I mean, the Bible to me is a book about transhumanism. And I think that people don't really know, and I don't even know, like, I'm not saying I'm superior here, but I think that there's things missing to that book as far as interpretation wise. But the astrology, I mean, Jesus telling you to follow him to the house with a man bearing a pitcher of water. That means that the age of Pisces is not it. It's the age of Aquarius. What's going to happen during that age? The Old Testament, Daniel 12 verses 2, talking about people getting resurrected. Some are going to be resurrected to eternal life, some to eternal contempt. That means that it's a dualistic reality. Does that mean the shadow side and the light side? Is that what it really means? Is that the bifurcation that it was expressing? These through and then we get into the yugas. We have to talk about that stuff. I mean, that's really important. Aquarius is across from Leo. This is Leo's the sun, man. I mean, that's the whole Atlantis story. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. A lot.
Yeah. I just wonder why it's always, like out there and not as a main curriculum, like, why don't we learn about all of this? Like,
why, man. Come on.
I mean, is it because it gives you sovereignty? Is it because it gives you the way to
well, I mean,
navigate?
Think of it this way, freedom. Right? Like, they need you to watch their movie. Them, right? They. I'm saying what I mean by they, anything outside of you. I mean, if somebody, how does people make money on a movie in Hollywood? You need people to go buy a ticket. You need people to say, oh my God, Danny, you got to go watch that movie. Free advertisement, but man, that's the power of words, right? Without those people doing that and buying tickets, the movie is
right, because it was so good and it moved me.
It's a flop if nobody pays attention to it. So their movie, the people that you don't like, they need you to buy a ticket to their movie, and they sell you shit all the time. And you don't know what's right from this. You don't know upside down. You don't know anything, right? We know that there are simulations. I've already asked ChatGPT, are the powers that be, are they running simulations to determine what they're going to put out on the mainstream for marketing? Yep. Of course. Wouldn't you do it? That's what people are doing now. They're running simulations on their life. What should I do here? We do that in the form of tarot. We do that in the form of numerology and astrology. What should I do here? What should I do? Oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde. I don't think I'm going to do it here. Right? So we do it. This is what we use as our tools. What they use, they run simulations through a quantum computer that's probably very much more advanced than what we got. And that tells them what to spill out onto the world stage. They pump it out. They get people to buy a ticket to their show. And instantly and automatically, that self-fulfilling prophecy comes true. And now you got eyeballs, and now it's a box office hit.
Yeah. Eyeballs not on the sky, not on the stars in the sky, but the stars on the screen. Yeah.
Yours is. And most of the people here, I would imagine, everybody here is. But it's the magic's when you turn off their movie. Oh man, it's beautiful because they're not gonna sell me a ticket. I don't want your ticket. You're not gonna buy my ticket. Why would I want to buy your ticket? Right?
I haven't been to a movie in probably 8 years.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
I mean, Yeah, I don't watch it. I mean, and by removing that story, I mean, I watch the story sometimes just to be entertained, but I don't get into it. I don't get into that narrative because it does exactly what you
Well,
said. You
I'm
get
mainly
involved
talking
in
about
it.
the news and politics, government.
Me too. Me
Yeah, it's
too.
in the movies. I'm a fan of movies. I'm a fan of shows.
No, I'm saying what you're saying
Yeah,
is the movie, the politics. Yeah,
life is the
all of it.
movie. It's a freaking, the
Yeah.
whole, life is a cult, the whole thing. People say, oh, your religion's a cult. Life's a cult, man. Your life's a cult. My life's a cult, right? We want everybody to join our cult. It's called friendships,
Right.
you know?
I think this cult's a little
Hmm.
harmless.
Well, I think cult has a bad rap to it, right? Because of the definitions behind it. But yeah, I totally agree.
Well, cult is generally something that goes against the main
Yeah,
narrative that the storyline. Don't deviate from the storyline. That's
yeah,
weird. Don't do that. Stay
yeah.
here. Stay in line. Because your leash is really easy to collect right here when you're all upset and terrified and freaked out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to be into the news
me
big
too.
time, and it was I just once I turned it off, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have
So
so
much
much
time, so
time."
much freedom.
Yeah, and my life is so
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome. Hey, let's talk about unless there's some more questions, let's talk about this upcoming massive conjunction in Virgo come the end of September.
Okay,
The
let me
Yeah,
pull
pull
up
up the
the
stellarium and
chart.
go into the like middle of September and just run that through for 30 days and let's take a peek at that sucker because there's a big conjunction in
Alright,
Virgo. And I will just remind
let's
everybody
do
this
it.
year is the year of Virgo because in Chinese it's the year of the snake, which is Virgo. So if you have any Virgo energy, if you're a snake in the Chinese, this is your year to do transformation, transformational work, especially you if you have a lot of Virgo energy.
One of my mods has a very
Yeah.
stacked Virgo. It's all on her ascendant.
That's a
Mhm.
tough, that can be a tough, challenging because Virgo's the perfectionist, man. That can be really the hypercritical person. And
She's hardcore, and she
oh,
chose
that's
me, so
beautiful. That's a compliment then if
yeah,
she chose you on that
I
aspect. Yeah.
I think so. Alright, let's see,
Yeah,
like the 15th?
just run it through. There's Venus coming in the background, and then Mercury's going.
Mhm.
Mars is already there. So this is, I think, going to be a pivotal right there. Mercury, Mars, and when Venus enters in, you're going to have this. I think it's you gotta move towards the end.
Yeah. Well, I was just noting this
Oh
Mercury,
yeah, that's big
Sun
right there.
conjunction here because, these cycles again, so Venus
Yeah.
does that same cycle, so does Mercury. Mercury does it quicker. Mercury cycles every
Yep.
116 days. 116 times pi is 364. The moons also do that. If you have 13 28-day moons, you get 364. But anyway, so this is the beginning of the Mercury cycle. So in 50, 60 days, it'll go retrograde and be in front in
Yep.
between sun and earth. So this is a manifestation cycle. This is thoughts become things kind of energy. So like if your mind is if you're not thoughtful, if you're not conscious of what you're thinking, about 2 months later, you're gonna manifest whatever it is you were fussing about over here. It's true. It's like
This
it's
moon,
like
go back. So
magic.
you have a new moon,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. You got a new moon right
Yep.
there, right around that time, the 22nd, 23rd. Look at that. Look at that
Yeah,
stacked right there, man. That is a stacked
you see
Virgo. Whoo! This is yeah. This is some heavy duty energy in one sign right there.
this
Yep.
is lunar eclipse.
Something.
So
I mean, yeah, lunar eclipses are the portals. So something, I don't know, like
mhm.
I'm not one to throw out the crystal ball stuff here, and I'm not saying that. But I will say that I've been saying this for a while. Jordan and I at Waters Above, we've been talking about this for some time. Is that this position right here um, could be a doozy for some places in the world, you know.
Like
I
financially
just
speaking.
everything because Virgo is the queen of heaven, right? And this is the portal. You're
Mhm.
talking about having the Vesica Piscis getting involved here. You're talking about, what's fascinating about Mercury, and I'm glad you threw it out there because I totally forgot. The one that 116, that's where Jesus comes on the scene. Matthew chapter 1, verses 16 is exactly
Stop.
Jesus coming on the scene as number 42, and Mercury is tied to Jesus because Jesus is the messenger. Mercury has the cross like Venus does. We know that Jesus is claiming to be the bright morning star, but that doesn't mean that there's no connections to Mercury, and Mercury is tied to Genesis and the serpent. So there, and we're in the year of the snake, and Virgo is the snake. There could be some snaky stuff right here in the grass with this conjunction, this mega conjunction here.
Yeah, and whenever the sun passes Spica, which I think is
That right down there, yeah, by
right
Mars.
here. So once we pass Spica, from Spica to the galactic center, this is like the burned path, at least for the northern hemisphere. This is when the sun is dying, and it's spiraling towards the abyss. And so this is not a time of like celebration. Like the programming makes you go out there and celebrate and buy gifts and party and do all kinds of fun things, but this is the path of the dying. So it's like releasing. It's a time to release. It's a time for solitude. It's a time for contemplation. And then yet they want us to party. They want us to put everything out there. And it's the biggest selling season in retail.
Yeah, I think that I mean, Virgo rules health, right? So you could potentially have quite a bit of deaths happening, even though there's no Pluto there or anything. But Pluto's in Capricorn right now, and that's an earth sign, and Capricorn represents time, and we're all children of time. So this could mean something very big right there. But again, Chinese, the snake is notorious. September 11th was one of the big ones. And remember, Hydra is the head of the tail of Hydra sits right along the aspects of Virgo, the tail. Yep. So that's a big, the snake, and this is the snake in the Garden of Eden, man. And Mercury is back there. And I have Mercury pegged as the serpent, Mercury being the serpent in Genesis, the trickster. And, but Mercury can be very blissful because you have to look at it from a yin yang perspective.
Right. There's good and bad. There's light and shadow to all these energies. And you live with them both. You use them both. I'm going to show you another date in the future that you and Jordan can talk about if you want. That's going to be amazing. Oh my gosh. It's going to be in January.
Can you take off that comment? No offense, Teresa. Yeah, but she. Can we address that before? Oh, she was commenting. She was just commenting on the Neuralink technologies. Okay, I didn't want to disrespect anybody. It was just taking up space, and I want everybody to be able to see that.
Oh yeah, let me. I'm. See, this is why I need a person to be on my shows.
You do, man. You got it. I just didn't want to make sure we missed anybody's comment or questions.
Yeah. All right. So this is where it's at right here. You're going to have Venus starting a new cycle. You're going to have, so this is going, look at this. Mars, Moon, Venus, Pluto, and the Sun. All right there on that mid-January. So this is post-galactic center. This is the Sun coming back. This is all the personal planets plus Pluto. The Sun does this every year, so this is not a foreign energy to us, but with all the personal planets there, it feels really earth-shaking.
Yeah, this is on the counter. These are all diamonds in the card suit, man. So the majority of them coming through that 18 right there. This is all diamonds, and the diamond suit is materialism. Next year, 2026, is the Knight of Swords. It's the Jack of Spades. I think this is the revolution. I think that this year was like death and transformation, but next year is the Knight of Swords. This is the return of the Christ. You're going to have the revolution.
Yeah. So what's after the snake?
Horse.
If this is the year of the snake.
Yep.
The horse. Okay.
Libra.
So that's the knights.
Oh, you mean in Chinese? I thought you meant Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah, in Chinese it's the horse. So, and those are the knights,
you can
right?
Say that, yeah.
In the tarot. Yeah,
I mean, I just did a decode on the JFK kill shot. And the pale horse is in there, right? And the pale horse is what the Knight of Swords is riding in the tarot. So I think we have a revolution coming. I don't know what that's going to look like beyond that. Again, I don't like to do predictions, but the tarot card has been spot on so far for 2025, and we're halfway through. We still have another half to go.
Yeah. Day 225.
Yeah, Venus, man.
let's see. I wonder, this is like that, like I said, this is January. Are there any other significant events that have happened in January that this would align to?
I don't have anything off a recall, but you know what? I think that things happen when we least expect them, right? And then they just because nothing. September 11th. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, September's always been a big month because of the rising of the Nile, the Egyptian New Year. You know,
right. Oh man, I keep having a thought and then it slips out of my brain. um, Dang it. It's okay. Yeah, no, oh, here's what I was gonna say. So, how this will affect, so astrology is also deeply personal. It's not just these collective transits, right? Um, I always tell people when there's an interesting alignment to look in their natal chart and to look where this is happening. Right. So if you know your own natal chart, you know it in the true sky, then you say, okay, what house is this in for me? Is there another
yep,
luminary here? Because if your sun's here, my moon's right here, and all this was piled up on top of our sun or our moon, we would definitely feel that differently. I would feel it in the lunar way, and you would feel it in the solar way. So the astrology, you can experience the astrology differently based on your own natal resonance. Do
yeah,
these
that's
type
a
things, but
great
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Great point. One thing to add here as well is we have two life paths. You have the Gregorian and you have your solar life path. All the
Mhm.
readings I've done over all these years, the solar life path takes precedence and it will be more in resonation. And so if you're born in the month of January or February, if you shift it, January is not the first month. Springtime in the Tropic of Cancer is during the month of March. March is the first month, and that will be adjusted based on the equinoxes of maybe the 19th, 20th, and 21st. So that position right there of the sun being right in between Capricorn and Sagittarius, and that being in the month of January. January is month number 10, and that fits because Capricorn is the 10th month. So
Right,
that's just
okay.
something to consider if you're doing numerology, and when you adjust it back 2 months, it makes all the difference in the world. On if you want to stick with the Gregorian, and you will be a part of that, but the solar life path is where it's at.
Yeah, I also try to, for the solar path, I mean, the sun's a big part of it. I actually try to give it a new terminology. So instead of calling it, "What's your sun sign?" I call it your soul star sign,
Nice.
because sun is soul, and so where was soul the moment you were born? And, kind of dignifying it as a separate part of your chart, an important part, but definitely a separate part. And there's, I guess it's a Hellenistic or probably even Vedic too, where you count the number of houses away from a certain
Yep.
energy. So, for example, you're a Capricorn soul. So the last full moon was, actually, if you go back to the previous new moon, the lunation is, what did I say for Capricorns? If it was like so it would be a seventh house. So it's like your this is a seventh house lunation of your solar lunar cycle.
Right.
And that full moon is a seventh house, is a first house energy. So you through relationships, so you can kind of work with the sun like that, and look at the chart from the sun's perspective and see how these energies affect you.
Mm.
Because I this lunation for me, the 23rd of or the 24th of July, started a first house solely lunation for me because my birthday was the 4th. So this is a first house lunation for my son. And
Mm.
then next month is second house lunation.
Mm.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
So you can follow your whole year like that and go through that journey of the houses, 1 through 12.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. It's a good way to get a whole collective of people interested in the astrology so they can get a little bit of a personal flavor. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, you also have Phoenix. You have the Phoenix constellation right below Aquarius too, right in between.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So that's
Right here.
yep. And so the Phoenix rising, that's right there with the. I mean, if you point it all the way, it's literally in the arm of Aquarius. That
Mhm.
puts you kind of in the halfway point, maybe, or the 3/4 of way point. So if you're in the age of Aquarius, you're 3/4 of the way through. You have the Phoenix rising, moving into Capricorn. Maybe that's the bifurcation that it talks about. with that Phoenix rising.
Yeah. But this is definitely one of the inner circle constellations.
Oh yeah.
The Phoenix.
Yep.
So, oh, I just love looking at the sky.
Yeah.
It's magnificent.
Do you have a telescope?
I have, I used to have one. I do not have one. I use my night sky app as my telescope
Oh, okay.
to see where things are. My brother-in-law has a very high-powered telescope that you can connect to a computer.
Oh yeah.
And we've used that. We've played with that before. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a game changer when you use that, because then you have the latitude, you have the markers to support the true map star. So
Yep. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I wonder how my sound is if I'm synced. How do I look, guys? Is my voice the same as my face?
It's been synced for me.
Yeah. You too. All right. So let's see. Here's another question. Lori says there's a blood moon eclipse on the 7th, new moon eclipse on the 21st. Yep.
These are portals, man. The eclipses are portals. If you go to the Vesica Pisca, if you go to the square root of 3 cipher and you type in solar and lunar eclipse, they're both going to equal 45. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that too. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am. Let's see. Let's see what else. 116. Blood moon eclipse. 4 diamonds. January 19th is 9/11 backwards. All right. And I guess born under a wanting star is happening a 4th. Oh, it's having the eclipse in their 4th house. Yeah. And Ka, hopefully we were able to answer your question about how it falls in your natal chart. You just have to pull one of those free charts, or have somebody run a chart for you and then see where that constellation is.
What was that? How do you determine where this falls? What are they asking?
Probably when we were looking at the stars, like where that falls in your natal chart.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And you line up the constellation. So if something's in Gemini, you look in Gemini in your chart and you line that up with the house.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. What is this? Using Danny O5 Fucason's being silly. Oh, okay.
It's funny.
What are your thoughts on flat Earth, Logan?
I'm not a flat earther.
Yeah, neither am I.
I'll tell you, I'll give you 2 reasons why. I know there's a lot of evidence that supports it. There's a lot of evidence that supports all the models, including the concave model. Mm-hmm. I've studied them all. The 2 that shatter flat Earth to pieces is, number 1, the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. They had a whole group of people go down there, including 3 flat earthers. And people are going to say, oh, it was green screened and they were paid off. You're guessing. Okay. That was number 1. And there's also Scott Air Force Base down in Antarctica there's tons of videos on YouTube showing the 24-hour sun besides that one that they did. That's number 1. Number 2, the one that completely eliminates flat Earth, is that if you're sitting in Cape Town, South Africa, you cannot see Polaris. If you're on a flat Earth and you look up, even if you're on an angle, you should be able to see Polaris, and you cannot. Why? Because you can only see the South Star.
That's right.
Australia's that star is the South Star. If you live, you can't see the South Pole Star from here where I'm at in Mexico. Nope. Can't see it. If you're
they also spin different directions too.
They also, yeah, if you're on a flat disc and you're looking up, everybody should be able to see Polaris, and you cannot if you're below the equator. How do you explain that? Well,
that model fails.
It fails.
Yeah. So if you're just looking at it scientifically,
completely fails.
So it fails to predict our observations.
Yeah, so I know that there are amazing layers to flat Earth, because one of my friends is Flat Earth Dave. He's a great guy, amazing guy.
He's very charismatic. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very charismatic. I'm friends with him. And what's amazing about Dave is that he's not an asshole. he's a really nice guy. And he's like, oh yeah, like he'll listen and he'll talk, and he doesn't argue and debate that I've seen anyway. So he's very, so that's why I like that. Those are the people that I can talk to.
I know every flat earther I know is cool as hell until you start saying, "Are you sure it's flat?" Then they get mad. Then they get mad.
Yeah, totally. So those are the two major points that I because I don't just want to say no or yes. I want to give you support. So those are the things that I would go encourage you to look at, and then do your own due diligence. But again, I mean, if I'm going to be transparent and be real and authentic, I will tell you that there are tons of layers of evidence that support flat Earth. Yes, of course. Absolutely.
I think this realm is just so magical that whatever you're seeking, it's delivered to you as well. Yeah, I'm okay with people, exploring that if that's what lights them up. It's just when the name calling starts, like, you're stupid because you think that. Like, I'm not into that. I don't want to talk to you like that. But and I have yet to meet somebody who will have that sort of scientific base without getting angry or cutting you off or yelling at you. So
yeah, and then add in I'm thinking Black Sabbath, right? The Southern Cross,
right?
Sign of the Southern Cross. The Southern Cross is the smallest constellation, and that is called crux in Latin, and that's what they use for Jesus Christ. And so that's the southern part of the sky, and the northern part, where Polaris is, this is where Jesus was talking in parables, and he said it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Well, the camel is a constellation right next to Polaris. Polaris is the needle, the eye of the needle, and the camel is the constellation right at the pole star. Why? Because heaven is always ascension, and there's a possibility that we reincarnate from the bottom. The bottom is the resurrection, and that's the Southern Cross, crux. And down there is a constellation that has the compass of the masonry, right? So it's when you look at these layers, and it all goes in circles, and it's not perfect. When you look at the south and the north, and you realize you can't see Polaris from Cape Town, South Africa, that should tell you. And then you go into the religion, and you know that the Vatican City, they worship the cross. It's called crux. That's the name of the constellation. It's the Southern Cross, and it's maybe the entrance point that spirit comes in and out of this reality. And the exit point is maybe Ursa Minor.
You're describing a toroidal field of energy.
Toroidal field.
Yeah.
There you go.
And yeah, I think that's absolutely what it is. And I think that toroidal fields tend to accumulate matter in a spherical way. Yep. It's the universe's conservation of energy idea. Like, the easiest collection of matter is a sphere, because it just accumulates at that electromagnetic point of the toroidal field.
Yep.
So
spot on. That was magical. Thank you. For the toroidal field is really what I was describing, and you said it. So thank you.
Yeah. So that's what I think the shape is, and it's a magical shape.
Matter of fact, if you don't mind, going back to Stellarium. That's a feature that you can use, is when you go and you click on the grids.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to that screen. If you go down and click on that one.
Look at that.
Yeah. And then you can see to your right, Ursa Minor. That's the north Polaris right there. And then the southern one, it's very challenging to pull it in there. But there's Draco covering the southern side,
this is the north. This is the
North Pole. Yeah, the Octans is what I was talking about. Yeah. The constellation Octans is where the Southern Cross is. You can't see that from here. If you live in New York City, you can't see Octans. You should be able to on a flat Earth, and you cannot do that.
Do you know what this is? This is these are magnetic field lines.
Magnetic field lines.
When you put a positive and a negative energy together.
That's it.
That's what this is.
We live in a battery, man. Anode and cathode.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's the amazing part. If you zoom out of that, you can see it probably a little bit easier.
I'm all the way out, I think.
You're all the way out. You have to spin it, I think. And it's so temperamental,
It is. It'll snap on you.
It'll snap on you.
Woo! There we are. See? That's us going through
There's the Ursa Minor. And so that ring of fire, man, is kind of like the bulging of the toroidal fields.
Oh,
Oh,
it's fourth dimensional stuff, which you
what's
can't
that?
describe in
Yeah.
3D. You just
Yeah.
can't.
Yep.
You have to channel it. You have to find it.
Yep.
Let me see what else. Stop sharing, restream. Let's see what else. Looks like everybody's going to bed. Oh, okay, guys.
Yeah, I got
Ultimate.
about another 10 minutes and I
Yeah.
gotta jet. So
Yeah, I'm flying to West Virginia tomorrow morning. I'm excited. Gonna
oh
meet some
nice.
family, gonna have a little
Oh, cool.
party. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
West Virginia's Volkswagen, the symbol of Volkswagen.
It's beautiful country. It
Sure.
really is. Yeah. They have very much nicer weather than we do in South Texas this time of year. I
You're
think
in South Padre. You're about you want to
Corpus Christi.
Corpus
Yep.
Christi. That's all right.
The body of Christ.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what it means. I mean, that's a cool area though. Like,
It's
do you
pretty
like
cool. They've a big surfing community. A
yeah.
lot of people who are just very chill. They like the beach. Large Hispanic community. In fact, that the hospital that I work for, it's such a diverse group of physicians. We have people from the Philippines, from Japan, from China, from Canada, from South Africa, India, all over the world, working at our hospital.
Nice.
Yeah, and the beach is about 15 minutes away. You can drive on it, so that's always
Oh,
lovely.
wow, that's cool.
Mhm, mhm.
Very nice. And how's your weather in the wintertime? It's pretty mild, right?
It can vary. Sometimes it's mild, like maybe 50s, 60s, but then we'll get these weird cold snaps where it'll just plunge down into like the 30s for about 2
Yeah.
or 3 days.
Yeah.
It kills all the flowers and everyone's sad. It snowed here in 2017 and it hadn't snowed prior to that in 20 years.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there's always has to be an exception to the rule, right?
Mhm, mhm. It was the
Yeah.
same year we had the eclipse here also.
Right on.
Mhm.
That's cool. So you're West Virginia. That's where you're from.
No.
Oh,
No, I I grew up in Maryland.
well,
I
Maryland.
was born in North Carolina. My stepdaughter and her husband live in West Virginia, and, the grandbaby and her are having a celebration for their birthdays as well as her graduation from master's studies, and she's also pregnant again, so we're expecting another one in February, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, February 5th actually is
Another
her due date.
seedling to come into the world.
Yeah.
Right on.
Another little star seed, and I have, oh, I'm not gonna say this. See, that's me, I'm giving up secrets, like, if in case she's listening, I have a surprise for her when I get there, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, let's see, what else? Yeah, I don't know, what's next for you? Spotlight's next for you?
Yep. I've been
I've been hearing you say that for a long time.
years. You know what's got in the way is decoding. I mean, 700
Okay,
videos. That's what got in the way.
got
Yeah,
it.
I'm pretty much done. I have to shoot one more module, and that's kind of like to bring it all together. But I'm super excited because I have a brand new system using the first time ever taking human design and putting the true sidereal on top of it.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there's no computer software yet, so you have to do it manually. But
That's
it's
okay.
absolutely glorious, and
Awesome.
it's a game changer. And then it's adding in the actual name of it is Alchemical Cosmic Code. So it's adding in alchemy as well into the whole thing. So
Well, you will have to, definitely let me know when that is ready to go because I
will it be this
can
week or next
yeah.
week?
Really? We're
Yeah,
that close.
yeah, yeah.
We're that close.
Are that close. I have right now, I think I have 5 hours of video. So we have 8 different layers. I have astrology, numerology, the playing cards, tarot, enneagram, cosmic totem pole, Mayan astrology, Chinese astrology, the playing cards, and then the cosmic codes, which is based on human design and the gene keys. So officially, it's like 8 systems, but there's probably more if I want to add in the Chinese and the personality types. I'm going to mention that stuff, but
I
yeah.
don't think there's anywhere else you can get something like that where you
No, I
have
think
all
this
of
is the
them.
first time. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
saying this is the first time the first time ever. I think so. So it's called Spotlight, LITE. So I'm pretty excited. It's been years, and I need to take a break, Danny. So I'm hoping that I do this course and then I can take off for a little bit because then the next thing is to do seminars with this because I already have things that I see. And this is like including pets. If you want to decode your pet, that's in
Wow.
this program as well. Yeah. So I'm excited to go on the road and do couples and show people how to do this so they can better understand their relationships. That's really the goal. And kids, mainly, a lot for the children, for kids.
Awesome. Well, you
Yeah.
need to come up to the South Texas way because you're not
Texas
too,
is on the right. Yeah. Well, that's the
yeah,
close.
you're not too far from Houston.
Yeah, it'd be Houston or Dallas. It'll probably be
Mhm.
a couple stopovers, but I'm not, I need to find an event planner because I don't do that stuff. So I just want
Okay.
to show up and that's it. I mean, I'm going to help in everything because I have some ideas, but yeah.
I got you. Well, tell you what, if you can help me collectively manifest a helper for my videos, I will help you manifest an event
All
coordinator.
right. Well, you just put it out there, man. You just put it out there.
Yes.
So if it's meant to be. What do you need? You need help with editing your stuff?
I just need someone where I can go, okay, here are my slides. Set me up. Let's go.
What do you use right now for your setup?
Well, I have so many things. I have Restream. I've got YouTube. I've got X,
No, no,
Twitter, Facebook,
so I'm saying is when you use, you're talking about editing videos for presentations.
editing videos, helping me with social media.
Listen, I'll be more than happy to show you the basic fundamentals of like I use Camtasia and Adobe Photoshop, but the Adobe suite, but I mainly use Camtasia for my presentations. It's super easy to do it, man. You know, but you got to line them all up. I don't use PowerPoint. I use just the preview on the Mac. But
Mhm.
you know, if you want to use PowerPoint, you can.
Cool. Yeah, I might. I'll take any help I can get for sure.
It's really
Yeah.
not that. It's once you do it a few times, you'd be like, wow, this is it. Yeah,
Cool.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. 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 Well, Logan, it has been a joy and a pleasure to connect with you again. Thank you so much for giving us the time tonight and your
so welcome. It was a
expertise and
pleasure.
your
It was
wisdom. And
yeah, it was an honor to serve. The one thing, you know, the last thing I'll tell all of you folks, this is kind of these two signs right here are kind of the granddaddies of our reality right now, Sag and Gemini. Why? Because it's the 9th house and the 3rd house. And that's tied to the vesica piscis. That's tied to the cosmic vagina. Gemini,
the word of the night.
yeah, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Sagittarius is ruled by Zeus. So you're talking about the expansion of thinking, and we have thoughts. Gemini is the prison. And it's 3, and 3 is expansion. 9 repeats the expansion over and it never ends. And Zeus is the granddaddy of them all. And you know, Zeus is the hunter, right? So this can be tied to the centaur as well. These are cool cards, the star code cards. But Gemini, what's fascinating about Gemini is it means cross-pollination. And so how does that fit into the 3rd house? That's your house of creativity. That's your house of the way you think. And you have these thoughts. And when you have these thoughts, you act upon those thoughts, and then your feelings get involved. Do feelings come before? Do thoughts come before feelings? I think it's all mind. I think mind controls everything. I don't think feelings do. I think you have the feelings, but they're controlled by the mind to tell you that you're having the feelings. So mind comes first, but mind and Mercury and Venus kind of work together, and they literally have the same shape, right? They both have the circle with the cross, except that Mercury has the little devil horns.
Mercury's the little devil for sure.
He represents the moon, man.
I also see Gemini as where we get our programming, like appropriate or not. Like this is where we believe what we believe. We're taught these things, and up good or bad, that's where they come from. The Gemini energy.
Yep.
So yeah, there can be an expansion of programmed beliefs and patterns with the Gemini energy right now. 100%.
Yep.
I love that it was 93 Neptunium.
For sure. And you know, if you study the human design, the gates that all occupy Gemini, you got 45 and 16. This is fire and hell and Pandora's box, all tied to the Gemini sector of the human design. Mind blowing, man, when you connect all this kind of stuff. Then you attach chemistry to it. Woo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to sign up. So I need to know when that's out.
I will let you know. It's a go at your own pace. You just got to, sign in. You can do it with your email or Facebook or whatever. And then once you're a member then you go through the course and it's all module based. I got timestamps. I have PDFs to follow along step by step. I have downloads for free, resources, and my book that I came out with. You're going to get it for free.
Amazing.
Well, including my Cards of Earth's Casino. That's going to come with the course. So you need it because, yeah.
So everybody sign up for Spotlight when that comes out.
It's coming out.
I also have stellar foundations. I don't know if I told you about that.
Tell me about it.
Stellar foundations is a journey through these 12 gates before you get to Ophiuchus. And we go in a clockwise fashion.
Right.
We go from Scorpio to Libra to Virgo to Leo. And it's a story of the cosmic healer. It's somebody that remembers, that awakens while they're still physical. And so there's some of the time is spent in the etheric realms. It's not all physical. And so we follow that journey, and the first week is Scorpio. Like, we dive right in, and I have a meditation for Scorpio. I have a meditation for Pluto. I have resource documents. The meditations are created by me. Music from my music studio over here, curated frequencies. Yeah. So you can really embody the archetype. And I like starting with Pluto and Scorpio because it's the darkest, sexiest, ugliest, shedding energy, so that you can be ready to see the archetypes in a new way. And by the time you get to Ophiuchus in the 13th week, you see it in a whole new light. And then, of course, they get the manuscript of the 13th sign, Ophiuchus, in the astrology. They don't want you to see. That's in the course as well. So, and then I do office hours. So every 2 weeks during the program, we meet for 2 hours and we go through different topics. Like, I teach a topic on the fourth dimension and electromagnetism and quantum physics topics, chaos magic. I cover a whole series on that. I talk about Mercury and Venus cycles and their patterns and how to use them. Yeah, and then I teach transits, so we get into some very detailed technical stuff. We also do a lab where we're just reading charts together. And then, of course, the last office hours is Ophiuchus. And the transformation is spectacular. I've done it twice now. And these people go from like eager, open minds to like these masters of these archetypes. And their own lives are changing because of it. And it's just so fun to do. And I'm born to do it. I'm born to do it. I love it.
Of course. That's beautiful. Well, I like the name Stellar.
Stellar Foundations. Yeah.
That's really cool. What made you decide upon that? Did you have like several names you were kicking around?
Yeah, you know how it is. It had to be related to the stars because that's what we're doing. We're doing astrology, the study of the stars. And when I was learning this, I couldn't bring myself to study under a tropical astrologer because I just knew it was wrong. I was like, you can't tell me these things because everything you say sounds false. I'm a little better at it now. I can listen to it and interpret it for my own uses. But so I found someone who I could mentor with, but they didn't, the techniques weren't there. The basics weren't there, but it was still very powerful, very transformative. I mean, we basically just sort of dove into Ophiuchus, and it was kind of like one of those, what do you call it? Eight of cups moments for me. Like, I went into the cave and figured it all out and then came out, so that was very useful. But so I'm doing sort of like the same thing, the same transformational process, but I'm creating support with it as well as the technical things, so that when you speak as an astrologer, a lot of people, when they first start doing astrology, they feel sort of self-conscious because they're like, "Oh, did I get that wrong?" There's so many specifics and so many nuances. And part of what I teach too is like, okay, trust the channel, So if you know these energies and you embody them, if you really feel what Pluto is like, you can look at Pluto in any chart, in any house, in any aspect, and say, this is how this is going to manifest for you, because I've already felt that. And to trust that hit when they get it. So
I love it, man. I love it. If people are just willing to, and I think we can again add more Cetus and all these. I'm not looking at the lower ones below the ecliptic. I think that's pretty interesting. But when you look at the I Ching and you look at Ophiuchus, what's so magical about it is that when you take human design and you add it to the true sidereal map, the gates that sit in Ophiuchus are gate 14 and 43. And 43 is the 14th prime number. And the 14th card in the tarot is the temperance card, which is balance. And that's what Ophiuchus is. He's balancing the serpent, man. So when you start to add these layers, man, it just gives you this mind explosion, and you're able to start to see how valuable Ophiuchus really is and what it's all about. And let's not forget 51 Ophiuchus. That's the marker, 51.
Yeah. And it's 48 in the Phi cipher. So is higher self.
Ophiuchus.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool.
I mean, you know, even the word nahas in Hebrew is 43, which sits in Ophiuchus. And what is the word nahas? Serpent. Serpent.
The words are codes.
14th
Words are
letter
stuff.
is nun, which is a serpent. 43 and 14, they sit in Ophiuchus. That's how valuable that sign is. And it deserves to be on the ecliptic because that foot is the 51 Ophiuchus that goes over the ecliptic. And that's what determines whether a constellation is supposed to be part of the ecliptic and part of the 12, part of the other ones, the hidden one, the 13. So I love it.
Yep. So this is the future of elementary school curriculums.
Maybe we can merge at some point because, you know, there's room for everybody, right?
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Well, you stay in touch with me. Let me know how you're doing, what you're doing. And
I will.
maybe we'll get you back on here in a few months when it starts to heat up around eclipse season.
Sounds like a plan.
See what's going on. All right, everybody. Please thank Logan for being here. I'm going to play my Venus outro. And everyone have a wonderful night. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Much love, everybody.
Much love.